Hello everyone, with the Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Monday night, September 2, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren. And subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the that's been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so taking a look at the US National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook, we can see that they still have that tropical wave highlighted across the Caribbean that's expected to push westward into the Western Caribbean, where it has a 40% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. And they've also upped the chances for this other tropical wave right there off the coast of Africa for a possible tropical cyclone development within the next 7 days. Same as the other one, 40% chance. And we can see the position that is tilted. So it definitely might just go out to sea. Either way, I'll definitely keep you posted with what happens eventually. Taking a look at this system, first of all, if we look back at the infrared satellite images, we can see the clouds, showers, and thunderstorms associated with the system. It definitely did a number on the Eastern Caribbean islands. Lots of rain in general, lots of lightning, thunder across the Windward and Leeward Islands, even portions of the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, northern Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago for sure got in on the bad weather associated with it. And just like the Hurricane Center stated, it's expected to push westward, all courtesy of the ridge of high pressure to the north. If we take a look at what the Hurricane Center states here, it states a westward moving tropical wave is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms, accompanied by locally heavy rainfall and strong gusty winds over portions of the eastern Caribbean Sea and the adjacent land areas. Environmental conditions are forecast to become more conducive for development when the system reaches the western Caribbean Sea and southwestern Gulf of Mexico late this week and over the weekend. And a tropical depression could form during that time. And we see that they've given it a 0% chance of cyclone formation within the next 48 hours, that's the next 2 days. And as stated earlier, a 40% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. If we take a look at what the Euro and the GFS supercomputer models are showing regarding the moisture associated with the system, first of all, we're going to be focusing our attention on the timestamp. So we're just going to be going out, let's say, to the next 84 hours. So about by Friday morning, I guess. And we're going to be focusing our attention right here at the bottom of our screen, as the system is going to be coming in from the east right here. It's currently across the eastern Caribbean and it's going to be pushing towards the west. And we're going to be looking at both the Euro and the GFS models because those are the two main supercomputer models that are used for forecasting. So let's go out in time. We start to see the moisture associated with this system across the central Caribbean, definitely still doing a number on Hispaniola by 21Z on Tuesday. That's about 4 p.m. on Tuesday when calculated. And then as we continue, we start to get in on more moisture associated with the system on a Wednesday. Look at all of the greens right there. That represents what? Anywhere from 1 to almost up to 5 inches of rainfall. Definitely going to be a bad situation. Who knows? Maybe some flash flooding taking place. And considering that school just started, maybe you might have to go to online classes if we've gotten that far. If it's not some orientation taking place. Even on Thursday, we still see a lot of moisture taking place. And we see that by Friday, it's starting to clear out. We start to see more whites across the Jamaica area. Most of the moisture associated with that system right there off to the west of there. And then by the end of the 84 hours, this is 6Z on Friday, which is actually 1 a.m. on Friday, September 6th. And we see most of the moisture associated with the system off to the west of the island. If we look at what the GFS model is showing, we see the moisture right here across the Eastern Caribbean. And as we go out in time, by late Tuesday, we start to see a lot of moisture, especially to the south of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And as we head into 18Z on Wednesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Wednesday, we see most of the moisture to the south and to the southeast of the island of Jamaica. We even see some dark greens and yellows in there that represents up to 5 to 6 or maybe even more inches of rainfall. And then as we head into Thursday, this is valid for 18Z on Thursday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Thursday, and we see the darker green still right there off to the south of Jamaica. We start to see some yellows even on top of the island by 0Z on Friday, which is actually 7 p.m. on Thursday. And then by the end of the 84 hours, we see the system right there more so off towards the south and west of the island, southwest of the island. We see even the area of low pressure associated with it right there to the southwest of Jamaica for sure. The heaviest rain to the yellows and the darker greens by 1 a.m. on a Friday. And as we continue throughout the day on Friday, we still see the moisture associated with it. Clearly the GFS is a bit slower than the Euro. We'll see exactly what unfolds with this. Either way, it looks to be out of here on the GFS by 12Z on Saturday, which is actually 7 a.m. on Saturday. We see more, well, little to no rainfall than anything else, more white. Let's see what the Euro is showing for that same time period. If it allows, or it doesn't seem to allow. But we see that most of the moisture should be right there up to the south and west of the island. Either way, get ready for the rainfall. If you have to go out, please ensure that you have your rain gear, water boots, raincoat, umbrella, whatever the case may be. And if you come upon flooded roadways, please ensure that you turn around, don't drown, because this rainfall total that's being predicted is no joke. Look at this. This map from the GFS and this map from the Euro are showing all the accumulated rainfall that's expected from now up until 6Z on a Friday, which is actually 1 a.m. on Friday. And look at this, that's on the Euro. We see some dark reds, even some slight purples in there. And all of this represents up to 2 to even 3 inches of rainfall, as you can see by the key on the right. The GFS, not as robust with the purples on top of the island like what the Euro was showing, but we see most of it passing right there to the south with more dark reds across Jamaica for sure, anywhere from an inch or more, definitely. And we know an inch of rainfall can definitely cause some flash flooding. As a matter of fact, there might be even more rainfall, more than an inch in some spots, so please ensure that you stay prepared just in case. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for tonight, we can see the ridge of high pressure right there to the north that we know is responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. These ridges of high pressure are responsible for steering all of these systems. The tropical wave right here across the eastern Caribbean, another tropical wave right here to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands, and the other tropical wave that the Hurricane Center is watching right there off the west coast of Africa. We can also see numerous areas of low pressure right there off the southeastern United States coast, lots of troughing taking place. And I'm sure that if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see the clouds associated with the troughs and the frontal systems of the southeastern United States coast, bringing some amount of bad weather, overcast skies, thunderstorms. We can also see the leftover clouds associated with that system that the Hurricane Center is watching right there across the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. And we can see the clouds associated with the strong tropical waves still lashing portions of the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Eastern Caribbean as we speak. We can also see the clouds associated with the tropical waves across the main development region. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean today later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Monday, September 2, 2024. It was stated that parts of eastern Jamaica would have received some rainfall last night into Monday morning, and that the rainfall would have also affected sections of northern and western Jamaica during Monday afternoon. And just for reference, We know eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey. So Portland, St. Andrew, Kingston, St. Thomas. Western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. While northern parishes, we're talking about those parishes on the top side of the island. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. And what ended up happening? As early as 6:15 a.m. on Monday, the infrared satellite images were posted here on our Twitter page. By the way, keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but on our Instagram page at Weather.Jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we may post throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So the infrared satellite images were posted at around 6:15 a.m. and they highlighted the clouds, showers, and thunderstorms being experienced across eastern Jamaica. We see the high cold cloud tops represented by the greens, the blues, the yellows, oranges, reds, not to mention the sparkling white dots that we know represent some lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. So we definitely had those cumulonimbus clouds bring some thunderstorm activity to eastern Jamaica in the morning, more so St. Thomas and Portland than anything else. And then by afternoon, the visible satellite images were posted at around 3:35 p.m. and they highlighted that we were definitely getting in on some cloud cover and some isolated thunderstorms as seen by the sparkling yellow dots across sections of Hanover, especially at that time. We saw the clouds starting to build across portions of southern St. Mary, section of St. Anne, section of Trelawney as well, to confirm that it was more so northern and western Jamaica getting on that afternoon rainfall. And as a matter of fact, another post was made recently around 8:05 p.m. highlighting that we were receiving some isolated thunderstorms this evening. We saw the high cold cloud tops across section of St. Catherine, St. Anne, section of Clarendon and Manchester, section of St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. We're definitely getting in on some isolated thunderstorms to wrap up the day for sure. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can definitely see the flow before the sun went down, coming more so in from the east. And then before the sun went down, we started to see the clouds starting to build up across section of central Jamaica, just to confirm what we saw on the infrared. And we definitely have confirmation here from one of our followers on our Twitter page, Stacy_1.Don, stating, lightning and thunder in Kingston, and this was posted an hour ago. However, for the most part, the corporate area didn't receive much in the way of rainfall today. If we take a look right here at See Jamaica's YouTube channel showing the live cam of halfway through, this was around 3:20 p.m. We can see that it was definitely dry, blue skies for sure, some trees moving in the wind. Not much in the way of bad weather at all across the corporate area today. By the way, if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just visit See Jamaica on YouTube. If you don't know by now, we have a partnership with this channel. They show live streams of the Kingston Harbor, the panoramic view of Kingston, Barbican, Crossroads, and even the Bogwalk Guard. So subscribe to them if you'd like to see more of that. If we take a look here at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours across Jamaica from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint a picture of where we had the rainfall, especially across northern St. Catherine this afternoon, section of northern Jamaica this afternoon as well. Well, northern St. Catherine this evening, northern Jamaica and western Jamaica this afternoon, and eastern Jamaica this morning. Even although it's not 100% to scale, it does indeed paint a picture of where we had the rainfall for the most part today. If we take a look at the latest infrared satellite images of Jamaica, look at all of this massive thunderstorm bursts across the waters to the northwest of the island, and there are still some spots across the island receiving some thunderstorms. So we can see how the thunderstorms built up across section of central Jamaica, definitely lashing portion of northern Clarendon, southern St. Anne, section of St. Catherine, Manchester, section of St. James, Hanover for sure. And as of the latest infrared satellite image that just came out at 25 minutes past the hour, so I guess that's 9:25 p.m., we can still see that there's still a lot of thunderstorm activity taking place off to the west of the island. Some of the clouds right here across central western Jamaica might still have some amount of rainfall within them, but we can see that for the most part they're dying out as we speak. And if we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images to confirm this, we can see, yes, they still have some rainfall within them. These green shades that we know represent some light to moderate rainfall. And we can also see some rainfall right there across the waters to the east of the island. Look at that. We're definitely confirming what we're seeing on the latest infrared. Look at the thunderstorms, and we can see it matching with the rainfall. The greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds that represent anywhere from moderate to heavy to severe weather out to sea to the northwest of Hanover for sure, to the southeast of the Cayman Islands. And if we take a look at the latest Doppler radar images from the Cayman Islands, we can see it for sure. The heavy rainfall right there off to the east, southeast of the island. Some hit or miss isolated shores to the south and west of the island as well. And if we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban military radar, not seeing much taking place. There's some isolated shores right there off to the east on the last frame. If we take a look at the latest crossroads cam, not much taking place. They're definitely going to be seeing the stars tonight, a fair night for sure. Vehicles going about their business, not much in the way of bad weather, just to confirm what we saw on the latest infrared satellite images. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can say we're 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Tuesday, temperature should dip down to about 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look here at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18th on Tuesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some yellows and some orange colors that we can see by the key on the right. That represents up to 1 to 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of September across Jamaica are close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. 90 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 32.2 degrees Celsius. So given the 2 degrees Celsius rise in temperature for tomorrow, it should be anywhere from 32 to 34 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on a Tuesday when calculating. So please ensure that you all stay hydrated, eat more fruits, drink more water, whatever the case may be, as much as you possibly can. Stay out of the sun during peak hours for sure. If you take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, we can see Jamaica right here getting in on some slight brown shades that we know represent the Saharan dust, but we're indeed grateful that we're not getting in on that very vigorous plume across Africa. We see the darker shade right there. We know that represents the vigorous plume that can cause hazy skies, not to mention trigger some amount of respiratory illnesses in some persons, asthma, sinusitis, you name it. We're indeed grateful that the Saharan dust is not as robust right now, for sure. If we take a look here at the wave forecast for tomorrow, it makes sense that we're getting in on those slight purples that represent up to 2 meter wave height, where we have the strong tropical wave in and around the waters of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico for sure, while the rest of the basin should be getting on those lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues that represents anywhere from 0.5 meter wave height all the way up to 1.5 meter wave height. And that's because the winds are going to be averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 knots, maybe even gusting to 20 knots, where we see the brighter greens. While we have 25 knot winds in and around Hispaniola and Puerto Rico in the yellow colors. So that explains the high wave heights there. As it relates to the wind forecast across Jamaica for tomorrow, we can see for sure the winds are going to be coming in from the east for the most part. We see the winds curling in and inland as well. And we also see the air piling up across sections of central and western Jamaica. So whatever comes off of the sea, definitely some rainfall across eastern Jamaica. But as usual, daytime heating will lead to that diurnal convection, that daytime heating rainfall across sections of central and western Jamaica for sure. Cumulus clouds becoming mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds. So look out for that afternoon rainfall if you're living in central and western Jamaica. If we take a look here at where the rainfall is expected and at what time, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are showing where and when it's going to be raining at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 6 a.m. Jamaica time. And we do see the blue colors that represent rainfall across St. Thomas and Portland on the GFS. The Euro is a bit more robust, trying to incorporate portions of St. Anne and St. Mary in there. Even waters to the south of the island, south of Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston. But we see for the most part, the consensus is for rainfall across St. Thomas and Portland. Then skipping ahead to about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time, we see the blues that represent rainfall, especially across central and western Jamaica. And look at the darker blues, especially across St. Elizabeth, Manchester right there, Westmoreland for sure. Look out for that afternoon rainfall. If you have kids who have to go to school tomorrow, ensure that they have their weather gear for sure. Then, who knows, maybe some of the rainfall associated with the strong tropical wave is starting to come into play already, because look at this. This is valid for 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 9 p.m. Jamaica time. And we start to see some blues represent rainfall coming in from the east across the waters in and around the island. Look at that. Both you and the GFS models are in consensus with this. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation forecast for the next 24 hours, this map from the year and this map from the GFS are showing some amount of rainfall close to 1 inch with the red, 0.75 of an inch of rainfall across the eastern portion of the island, the Euro. GFS showing the most in the way of rainfall across western Jamaica with the oranges up to 0.75. Either way, we'll take it. We're in the month of September. We usually receive an increasing amount of rainfall for the month. Almost 100 millimeters. That's almost 4 inches of rainfall for the month of September in Kingston. In Montego Bay, it's almost 7 inches of rainfall for the month of September. That's almost 175 millimeters of rainfall, if I'm not mistaken. And you can do the math yourself, considering that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. And you can visit weatherandclimate.com to find out about the rainfall in your specific parish throughout the year. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see the cloud showers and thunderstorms associated with the trough of the southeastern United States coast, the clouds associated with the tropical wave across the eastern Caribbean. And if we take a look at the northeastern Caribbean's Doppler radar images, we can see a lot of rainfall in and around the islands as we speak, especially Puerto Rico. Some moderate to heavy rainfall being experienced there. Even some rainfall left over from the tropical wave to the north of Barbados, affecting sections of Dominica, Martinique as we speak, sections of the waters to the west of Trinidad and Tobago too. And if we take a look right here, we can see some rainfall across sections of Central America, sections of northern Cuba, Florida, northern Venezuela, Colombia. And there's a lot of rainfall expected within the next 24 hours. Look at this, showing rainfall in inches in the red, stretching all the way from the eastern to the western Caribbean. Sections of Central America and northern South America definitely going to be getting a lot of rainfall. We can see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.